we've done so much sailing this year that it just feels normal now. It feels normal for all of us just to be kind of out at sea, and our little world on our boat, going on a few day passages and not having any sight of land. We've done it so much over the last 2 years that no one really thinks twice about it. The main thing is, have we got enough fruit and vegetable to keep us going? You know, what's the next meal?
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing ho, hey, along for the ride. Ho, hey, I'll stay by your side. Ho, hey, you'll always be alright by me. Yes, you're alright by me.
So we're set off again across from Sardinia to the Balearics, and it's quite nice sea conditions actually, easy to get on with homeschooling. So the kids are doing homeschooling this morning, and sometimes it's too rough really, and so we just mainly put audiobooks on. In the morning you set sail and then you spend days at sea. That must be very strange for some people, and only when I kind of think outside our life that I actually look down on our life and I think, yeah, it is a bit weird. But that is our life, that's normal for us for the moment. What's good about it is just that you have no contact with the outside world. It's quite nice actually to get away from all of that. You don't have any news, you can't speak to anyone else outside, and in a way there's something gives you quite a lot of freedom, I think. It's like kind of meditation, and you just concentrate in your little world, our family world, aboard the boat. And again, you know, when you come back and you see land and you get back on internet contact, then it's quite nice to find out what's been going on, and then looking forward to being in contact again. It's that kind of constant movement, like the sea, really. That's my philosophy for this morning. Irenka out.
So we're on the final stretch across the Mediterranean towards Spain. We left Sardinia yesterday, now we're into the second night. Been really slow going for the last 24 hours, but we're hopeful that we might get there tomorrow evening now. So finally the wind's kicked in, we're doing about 6 knots. For the last 24 hours we've been doing about 3 knots. It's been painfully slow, the swell's been high, so everybody's been feeling a little bit ropey. We're goose winged out, hasn't been much traffic.
We're going to try and put the pole out for our genoa.
One trapdoor, where there's only one trapdoor, there is going to be always be
Dinner time.
Minimising the washing up.
seriously, Dad?
Oh, you really do the washing up.
Nice.
So we sailed over from Sardinia, and last night we anchored in Formentera, which is on the south of Ibiza. So we had a bit of a rest after quite a choppy sail.
Let's do some dinghy surfing.
Okay, what are you doing there?
Okay.
Then we've come up the west coast of Ibiza, and we're now heading into San Antonio. There's forecast to be about 2 meters of swell in the actual bay, which is obviously untenable at anchor. So we're going to do a quick turnaround, gas, shopping, water, and then back out again to find some shelter.
So the kids are helping wash the boat down. That's the job today. Aren't you kids?
Yeah.
And this is how we do
Warning, it's going to be really slippy now. What about this?
So we're in San Antonio in Ibiza. We came into the marina last night just as a storm was breaking, and we decided to stay. We don't often stay in marinas, but they did us a good deal. They only charged us 59 euros for the night. We turned up a bit late, so I think they kind of give us a bit of a discount. But now we've got to head off. The wind is still quite strong, but it's supposed to die down later this afternoon. It was about a year ago that we left this exact dock and managed to rip the dinghy on one of these cleats. We're having a bit of a belts and braces approach. We moved all of the fenders to the back. We've got a line here to help us pull off the dock, and we've got a spring on the back here as well. So we're taking extra precautions because the last thing we want is to destroy a dinghy before the end of the season. Okay, perfect execution. Good work from the crew. We got off there perfectly. And now we're going to head down to Formentera because the wind is blowing from the south and it's nicely sheltered from the southerly winds. But we've still got a bit of residual swell from the storm last night. So we're having to beat out of the bay. But as soon as we round this rock, we should be on a nice beam reach all the way down. Hopefully. So we sailed from San Antonio yesterday, and we caught the back end of the swell from the storm, which was pretty horrendous. So it was horrible going. We were hoping to get down to Formentera, but the swell was just too much really, and the wind dropped. So we tucked into the south side of Ibiza, in a place called Cabo de Gato, which is where we're at now. The swell's still pretty bad, but at least we got a good night's sleep. And now we're going to head down to Formentera, and we're just watching for weather windows to cross to the mainland later on. Loads of these beautiful sort of modern buildings overlooking the sea. So we thought if we anchor here, maybe we'll be invited in for a cup of tea at some point. Still waiting for the invite.
So Ewan, who's hibernating, is supposed to be doing this maths. He's hibernating. So there's lots of excitement happening on deck. We are just approaching the mainland Spain, and we've just been called up by Lady Rosemary. We're asking us to pass them on their stern because we're just going through a shipping lane. So we're crossing it at a right angle, as you are supposed to do. It's like playing chicken really on a motorway. You've got to try and get across, avoiding all the big ships that have to go down this shipping lane. But they just told us to go on their stern, I think. He sounded a bit Chinese. So we've kind of confirmed that we'll go astern. And yeah, I don't know, I think it's a very low ship. Maybe they think we can't see them, but we've got them on the AIS. But anyway, yeah, we've got a couple of hours before we actually touch mainland. We've got to decide where we're going to drop the hook really tonight. Whether we try and battle our way south, or whether we just stay a little bit north and anchor and get some rest. But yeah, that's the news for tonight.
So we just did an overnighter from Formentera and arrived in this little bay called Cala de Ambola, I think, on Cap Negra. And it's a beautiful little anchor. It's really sheltered. It was just what we needed because we really struggled with the swell last night. And we got in about 6 o'clock this morning. And there's nothing on Navali, nothing on Newfoundland. There's no reviews of this place, and we just took a bit of a chance, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful luxury houses up on the top there, and sheltered from anywhere except the easterlies, really. Fantastic. Anyway, we're going to get going.
Number line. It goes 1 to 100. It goes like 10, 20. You can use them. They are all in order, but if using it like too close up, you can go on this side, and it's really, really far away, kind of. A bit.
So this entire coast is called Costa Blanca, or the White Coast. It's full of tourist cities and towns. So that's Calpe, and over there is Benidorm. And we'll be anchoring Benidorm tonight to avoid this wind, and then we're carrying on tomorrow. There's a lot of fishing boats out this morning. Lobster pot marker. Those are the bane of every yachtsman's life. And they've got a long line going to a lobster pot on the seabed. And if you drive over those at night, because you can't see them, you can get the line caught around your prop and it can stop you dead in the water. Dotted around a lot of coasts around the Mediterranean. This is Isla de Tabarca, and we've just set off at 5 o'clock this morning from Benidorm, and now this island is just off the mainland, but it's perfectly situated to be sheltered from the southerly swell which we're getting at the moment. Unfortunately, no wind is with us at the moment, so we're just having to motor down when the wind drops. It's a bit of slow progress, but we're getting there.
So what we're doing is we're getting up early in the morning to hop our way down the coast of Spain against the prevailing winds. So we're finding that the wind seems to drop early and then it picks up again later. So that's the only way really to get down there, otherwise we could wait weeks for the wind to turn. Yeah, so it kind of seems to be working. We kind of do, I don't know, a few hours every day. You know, finding some quite good anchorages actually along the coast of Spain, some that we didn't find last year as well. So that's us. It's really cold now, so we're just ready to get there and get the heaters on and get warm. This is what I like about Spain. You get showers on every beach. You can wash your feet, wash your hands, get shampoo out. This is actually quite nice. We've just stopped here on our very slow coastal hop south, and yeah, we didn't even realise actually how sheltered it was. You have to kind of go round this spit. There's an underwater spit that leads out over there, but once you get round here, because it's prevailing southerlies, it's really sheltered, and the water's like aquamarine blue, sand, and it just feels nice and calm, and we're here just for a night and we're moving on.
So far I'm really frustrated because there's 2 swimming pools here. Nobody's using them. Such a waste of water and energy. Millionaires to stay here. What?
Thousands of apartment blocks and all completely deserted. It's like a ghost town, and yet it's a beautiful sunny day. This is a massive inland sort of saltwater lake at Marmanor. This is all behind that massive sand spit that you saw earlier. What are you doing?
I'm pushing the boat so we don't waste fuel. When I can't do it anymore, you can drive the boat.
You can swim now, swim and push it. You don't need an engine.
We've been slowly hopping along the coast of Spain to get to the southern Costa del Sol to Almerimar. It's been really slow, much slower than we've ever done it before because the wind's constantly be going in the wrong direction. So we've been sheltering in little bays along the coast, and we've got to, this is our last stop really, this is Cabo de Gato, and we remember this because we used to do a lot of trekking here last winter around this area. It's really beautiful. It's a national park, and it's just mountains and kind of raw wild beaches, and it's actually the really nice place. So it's our last anchorage before we stop and do lots of things on the boat for the winter. Yeah, so the last anchorage next to the power station wasn't one of the prettiest. It was interesting but not the most attractive, and the weather was really nasty there, so we didn't really get off the boat anyway. Now the weather's calmed a bit and we found this really nice sheltered anchorage. This is our new outboard, isn't it?
Yes.
Doesn't it sound healthy?
Ready for its service. So we've been sheltering in a little place here. There's Spain, there's North Africa, and now we're going to head along to Almerimar.
We're only a day away from Almerimar, which is where we're going to stop again for a few months and sort all the issues out on the boat, and before we set sail again next spring. The main reason we're actually stopping is because I need to get some medical treatment on my scalp, which is not getting any better. In fact, it seems to have got worse, all the itchiness and scaliness and stuff that's happening to it. I don't know what it is even, so I need to get diagnosed and treated. I suppose medical issues come first really, and the Med is the best place to do that really for us. If I need to go back to England I can, if not I'll try and get it sorted out in Spain. So that's the reason why we're staying in the Med for the winter again. We're not going to cross the Atlantic this year, so I can get that treatment. When we thought about it, and we weren't even that disappointed really, because as always there's always things to do on the boat, and you don't get a chance to do all the general maintenance throughout the season because you're trying to get from A to B, you're schooling, you're touring, you're travelling, and we had some big job stuff, but we didn't do the general maintenance, so a lot of that needs doing this winter, and there's lots of things that never worked that we'd like to fix, and the boat is going to be totally ship shape next season when we leave, hopefully. So yeah, it's been a really busy, fantastic season. We've gone all the way from Spain to Turkey and back again. We've had loads of adventures on the way, and we're going to spend this winter doing lots of interesting blogs about things that we've learned, about some interesting subjects that people always ask us about. This is a really nice place to sort of finish off this season really. Start, we need to rest, and we need to get ready for the next season and lots more adventures.
Should we have a beach fight tonight?
campfire on the beach.
Where are we going?
To the beach, have a fire.
Last year is the last of the season because this is the last night at anchor before we go and dock our boat. This is, what is the date? It's the 23rd of October and we're still out on beaches having fires. This is the life. So Ewan, he just taken this on as his job now. So as soon as the anchor goes, he's up on deck and he's pulling up the anchor, just like that. Even in his pyjamas. It's a bit cold this morning though. So here we are heading back to Al Miramar.
Hide your tootsies, Ewan.
But I'm not leaving it.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing ho.
So this is a really big thank you to our patrons for pledging to Mothership Adrift and supporting us on our journey as we travel around the world. This allows us to make stories and then share these stories with you. If you want to become a patron, it's really easy. Click on the Patreon button and join our family in this journey around the world.
And if you want to do it, do it.